You didn't fall behind because you were weak. You fell behind because you could see exactly how far you had to go, and that clarity became its own kind of prison. The smarter you are, the more convincing your reasons to wait. There is a specific kind of silence that intelligent people know well. It's not the silence of someone who has given up. It's not the silence of someone who doesn't care. It's the silence of someone who cares so much, thinks so deeply, and understands so completely that they cannot move. You know what needs to be done. You've known for months, maybe years. You've read the books. You've watched the interviews. You've mapped out the plan in your head so many times that the plan itself has started to feel like action. But the work, the actual imperfect, unglamorous work, that remains untouched. And the worst part? You can explain exactly why you haven't started. You can articulate the obstacles with precision. You can identify the risks. You can outline every reason the timing isn't right, every flaw in the approach, every version of failure that might be waiting for you on the other side of trying. You have thought about this so thoroughly that your thinking has become your trap. This is not laziness. Lazy people don't suffer like this. Lazy people sleep well. You lie awake at 2 a.m. running simulations, revising strategies, imagining futures, exhausted by the weight of a life you haven't lived yet. And somewhere, deep beneath all the analysis, beneath all the planning and the reading and the waiting, there is a question you have been too afraid to ask out loud. What if I'm not stuck because I'm not ready? What if I'm stuck because I am? Here is what nobody tells you about intelligence. It is not always an advantage. In fact, in the specific battle of becoming the raw, brutal process of building something real from nothing, intelligence can be the most sophisticated weapon a person turns against themselves. The average person tries. They stumble forward without fully understanding the terrain. They make mistakes they didn't predict. And because they didn't predict them, the mistakes don't feel like failures. They feel like information. They adjust. They move again. And slowly, imperfectly, they build momentum. But you see the stumble before it happens. You anticipate the mistake before you make it, and so you wait. You refine, you prepare. You tell yourself you are being strategic when you are actually being afraid, and the terrifying thing is that you are smart enough to make fear look exactly like wisdom. This is the trap that catches the sharpest minds. Not distraction, not laziness, not a lack of discipline. The trap is thinking as a substitute for doing. You have built an entire identity around being the person who understands things deeply, who sees what others miss, who approaches problems with nuance and care. And that identity, as beautiful as it is, has a shadow side. Because if you try and fail, it doesn't just mean the attempt failed. It means the intelligence failed. It means the careful analysis failed. It means the version of you built on being sharp and perceptive was wrong. And that is a risk that feels unbearable. So the mind, your brilliant, powerful, relentless mind, manufactures reasons to wait. It dresses hesitation in the language of preparation. It frames avoidance as strategy. It takes fear and wraps it so elegantly in logic that even you cannot see through it. But here is the reframe. What you call not being ready, that is not wisdom. That is your intelligence in service of your fear. And the moment you understand that distinction, everything changes. There is a concept in physics called activation energy. It is the minimum amount of energy required to start a chemical reaction. The reaction itself, once begun, may release enormous power. But without that initial spark, nothing moves. The potential sits dormant. The molecules hold their formation. The energy remains locked inside, inert, going nowhere. You are a reaction waiting to happen. And the activation energy you need is not more knowledge. It is not another course, another book, another conversation about what you're going to do. The activation energy you need is a single imperfect step taken before you feel ready. Think about the people you most admire. The ones who built things, changed things, moved things. Study them honestly, and you will find a pattern that is almost uncomfortable to look at directly. Almost none of them were the smartest person in the room when they started. They were not smarter than you. They were earlier than you. They began before they had the full picture. They shipped the imperfect version. They made the call without all the information. Not because they were reckless, but because they understood something. consciously or instinctively, that you have not yet allowed yourself to believe. The doing is what creates the knowing, not the other way around. You have been operating on a false equation. You have believed that understanding must precede action, that you need to fully comprehend a thing before you are qualified to attempt it. And on the surface, that sounds like wisdom. It sounds like responsibility. It sounds like exactly the kind of thoughtful approach an intelligent person should have. But watch what it produces. It produces years. It produces distance between who you are and who you could be. It produces a slow, grinding erosion of belief, not because you failed, but because you never let yourself try. And the person who never tries convinces themselves over time that they never really wanted it anyway. That is the quiet tragedy of the unlived life. There is something else at work here. Something deeper than strategy or preparation. Smart people often carry a weight that others don't fully understand, the weight of potential. From early on, they were told they were capable. They were praised for their intelligence, their insight, their ability to grasp things quickly. And that praise, though well-intentioned, planted a dangerous seed, the seed of having something to lose. Because if you are the smart one, the capable one, the one with so much potential, then failure is not just a setback. It is a verdict. It is evidence that the story everyone told about you, the story you told about yourself, was never true. So you protect the potential by never testing it. You keep the dream alive by keeping it theoretical. You stay in the space where you are still the person who could, because the moment you step forward, you risk becoming the person who tried and didn't. And in that calculus, without ever saying it aloud, you have decided that the pain of not trying is more bearable than the pain of being seen trying and falling short. But here is what that decision is actually costing you. Every year you wait, the gap widens, not between you and your goal, but between you and yourself. The version of you that acts, that builds, that fails and learns and rises, that version is moving forward without you. And you are standing at the edge of your own life, watching it from a distance, becoming an expert in a journey you have never taken. Stop. Just stop for one moment and listen to what I'm about to say, not with your analytical mind, not with the part of you that will immediately begin evaluating and qualifying and finding the exceptions. Listen with the part of you that already knows this is true. You are not waiting because you are not ready. You're waiting because being ready feels safer than being wrong. And I need you to hear this. Really hear it. Because it may be the most important thing anyone has ever said to you about the life you are living. There is no version of ready that is coming to save you. Not next month. Not after the next course. Not when the circumstances change or the timing improves or the fear finally fades. The readiness you are waiting for does not exist as a destination. It exists only as a byproduct of movement. You do not become ready. You become ready by going. Every single person you have ever looked at and thought they figured it out, they found their path, they built something real, every single one of them crossed a moment identical to the one you are standing in right now. A moment of incomplete information, a moment of unresolved fear, a moment where every intelligent reason to wait was still on the table and they went anyway. Not because the fear was gone, the fear was there, fully present, fully real. Not because they had certainty, certainty never came. They went because they made a decision, a single, quiet, irreversible decision, that the cost of staying was finally, undeniably, higher than the cost of moving. And I want you to feel that cost right now. Not abstractly, not philosophically, feel it. Feel what it means to be 10 years older, standing in the same place, carrying the same unlived dream, heavier now because it has been deferred so many times that it no longer feels like a possibility. It feels like a wound. Feel what it means to be the most capable person in a room you built around your own limitations, surrounded by evidence of what you could think, but never proof of what you could do. That future is not inevitable, but it is available. It is waiting for you at the end of every reason you manufacture to stay still. And here, right here, is the truth that the sharpest minds resist the most. Your intelligence is not the problem, the worship of it is. You were given a remarkable mind. A mind that sees patterns, builds frameworks, anticipates consequences. That mind is not your enemy. but you have made it your God. You have handed it authority over decisions that require not thought, but nerve. The warrior does not think their way through the battle. They train and then they move. The artist does not perfect the piece in their head. They make the imperfect thing and learn from the making. The builder does not design until the blueprint is flawless. They break ground and discover what the ground demands. You must break ground, not when you are ready, now with everything incomplete, with every question unanswered, with the fear still present and the outcome still uncertain and the path still unclear, because the path does not appear before you move. The path appears because you move. This is the moment, not a metaphorical moment, not someday, this specific breath, this specific instant. This is the activation point. Everything before this was preparation. Everything after this is up to you. Your intelligence brought you here. Now have the courage to go further than it can see. You have been carrying this longer than anyone knows. The plans that never launched. The dreams that lived only in your mind. The quiet grief of a life that has been thought about but not yet lived. That weight. You can set it down now. Not by abandoning the dream. By finally moving toward it. You were never lacking ability. You were never lacking vision. You had more of both than most people around you. And you felt it, that gap between what you could see and what you were doing, every single day. That gap is not evidence of your failure. It is evidence of your range. And range without action is just distance. Close it. One step today, imperfect, incomplete, uncertain, and yours. The journey you have been postponing is not waiting for the right version of you. It is waiting for the real one, the one who moves before they're ready, who builds without the blueprint, who begins even when the beginning is terrifying. That person has always been here. You have been standing in front of them this whole time. The mind that could see everything finally decided to go. If these words found you at the right moment, stay. There's more coming.